Tonight on Cronkite News, we look at ASU football's Big 12 matchup from this past week and the possible roster moves that could take place.
Plus, the Arizona Cardinals host the LA Chargers tonight. We have what to expect from this West Coast clash.
And improving access to health services for those facing a language barrier. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Walter Adams.
And I'm Kayla Marina. Thank you for joining us.
Arizona State football kicked off early last Saturday against the Cincinnati Bearcats.
The Sun Devils came into this matchup winning consecutive conference games against the Kansas Jayhawks and the Utah Utes.
With no Sam Levitt at quarterback for the Devils, Coach Kenny Dillingham went to Jeff Sims. Arizona State struck first on the opening drive thanks to star running back Cam Skattebo. After Skattebo's touchdown, the Sun Devils struggled to move the ball. In the fourth quarter, Cam Skattebo scored his second touchdown of the game, but unfortunately, it was not enough. The Sun Devils fell to the Bearcats 24-14. Kicker Ian Hershey missed a pair of field goals in the fourth quarter, which frustrated Sun Devil fan base as well as Coach Dillingham.
But our kicking game's atrocious. So if you can kick and you're at Arizona State, email me, right? We're going to have kicking tryouts on Monday. So bring it on, kicking tryouts Monday. Let's go. Yeah, I'm dead serious. We're going to put it out on our social. We're going to have a kicking tryout on Monday. We got to find somebody who can make a field goal.
Strong words right there from Coach Dillingham, who called out his kicker by calling for open tryouts. Our DeAndre Sanders joins us now with more on Dillingham's reaction. DeAndre, you played college ball. Maybe you could try out, but it sounds like the coach might be backtracking.
Yeah, that's right. I did play football, but I don't believe these old legs are what Coach Kenny Dillingham is looking for. Kenny originally backtracked his comments on a tweet Saturday afternoon saying he should never have called out his kicker like that. Well, today he also had a change of heart when it came to holding open tryouts, saying as the coach, he is responsible for the way that this team plays.
When I realized that it was affecting a kid, I've never in my career done anything that's been had a negative effect on a kid, and I've had some really bad seasons, some really bad play, and absolutely failed them. I think I've commented enough on it. I apologize, and we're going to look at that situation. I have a lot of confidence. I really do have a lot of confidence in those guys. I just met for 30 minutes with them. A lot of confidence in those guys. So.
ASU missed two clutch field goals on the final two possessions in the fourth quarter, one from 48 yards out and another from 41 yards, slamming the door for any chance of a comeback. ASU kicker Ian Hershey has been consistent from short range, but has showed major struggles on kicks longer than 30 yards. Going 3 of 8 on kicks 30 yards or longer, the sophomore transfer from Idaho State has not made a field goal attempt in the past month. Dillingham mentioned that he will take a look at the kickers who are currently on his roster and may vet some potential walk-on candidates in the next coming days, so stay tuned. In Phoenix, DeAndre Sanders, Cronkite News.
The Cardinals host the Los Angeles Chargers tonight on Monday Night Football. Despite taking a big loss last week against the Packers, the Cardinals remain in the hunt for the NFC West title. With the win tonight, the Cardinals can move to a game behind the Seahawks for the division's top spot. History shows Monday Night Football has not treated the Cardinals well. Arizona is well below the 500 mark all time on Mondays, and their last loss may have been the worst of them all. Back in 2022, Monday Night Football turned into Monday Nightmare Football for the Cards as Kyler Murray tore his ACL on the third play of the game and missed nearly a full year. The Cards will look to rewrite their Monday Night Football history tonight.
The Suns hit the court at ASU's Mullet Arena on Saturday for an open practice. Fans filled the stands to get a first-hand look at the team's preparations for the upcoming season. As Enrique Ortega reports, it wasn't just about showcasing skills. The event gave players a chance to connect with the community and feel the passionate support of their fans.
Saturday's practice wasn't about hitting the gym or learning plays. It was about building community with Suns fans and getting a behind-the-scenes scoop of how this team will look going into the new NBA season. One of the key differences fans saw between last year's team to this one, three-pointers are a priority.
Yeah, I feel like we got the script, shoot a lot of threes, play fast, just have fun with the game, but he wanted us to defend first. That's where it starts.
The Suns were able to showcase their many talents to the fans who came to open practice in Mullet Arena. And while it's an awesome experience for the fans, it means so much more to the players who get to see the support that they have.
I loved it. I mean, it was great. You know, this is a great crowd. It's a great fan base. I appreciate all them coming out today. It was fun competing with the guys. And just everyone should go practice. It makes it fun. It's competitiveness.
The open practice was a great opportunity for the fans and the players to build a connection going into the season as the NBA starts a new chapter this week. In Tempe, Arizona, Enrique Ortega, Cronkite News.
The Phoenix Suns are looking ready to take on the new NBA season. Fans won't have to wait long to see them in action again.
The Suns tip off their season opener against the Los Angeles Clippers this Wednesday.
Coming up next, former ASU football player is back on the field.
And this time as an assistant coach. We'll take a look at the AZ Compass Prep football team and a new member of the coaching staff after the break.
Plus your full weather forecast coming up next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to see.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu.
The AZ Compass Prep Dragons football team is off to a terrific start to their season with an undefeated 7-0 record. And as our Cameron Palmer explains, there's a former Sun Devil on their sideline.
Former Arizona State wide receiver Jalen Strong was known for making big plays on the field. And now Strong is drawing up big plays and bringing a winning mindset to AZ Compass Prep.
I'm from Philly, so it's like, it's a little rough place, like one of them places, if you want to make it out, you got to believe in yourself first. I just had a talk with my players today about believing in self first. You know, believing in self is going to carry you through everywhere.
That belief mindset has resonated with the players both on and off the field.
We talk to each other sometimes, help each other with work. We do study hard, we help each other. As a Coach Strong, he really helped us get along as a team because some of us, we never talk to each other.
That atmosphere has created stronger relationships and made the Dragons a tighter team.
Last year and this year, I'd say last year it was like more like a friend group than a team. This year it's like a team, a family, an actual bond. Like I'll go to war with these people right here.
For Strong, he's found a new passion with a new team, and that is helping him grow not only as a coach, but as a person as well.
It's nothing that I can't be coached up on. You know, that's my mentality. I'm optimistic. I believe in everything is going to work out for the better. And if it's not happening right now, I'm going to work to get it better. And if it's still not happening, I'm going to keep working.
The work will continue not only for Strong, but AZ Compass Prep as they continue their successful season. In Chandler, Cameron Palmer, Cronkite News.
The Dragons will look to continue their impressive season as they face the Heritage Academy Gateway Heroes on Friday.
The WNBA Finals Game 5 was played last night between the New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx, and wow, What a finish it was.
In a do-or-die game, it was the Liberty who came away victorious. After the final buzzer, confetti fell onto the court and Frank Sinatra's iconic New York, New York song was played through the arena. It was the Liberty's first championship in franchise history. For head coach Sandy Brondello, it was her second championship. Brondello lifted the trophy for the Phoenix Mercury in 2014.
The MLB World Series starts on October 25th with two historic franchises facing off.
Yes, Wilder, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees will play in a best 4 out of 7 series, with Game 1 in Los Angeles.
The Dodgers are looking for their first championship since 2020. Los Angeles defeated the San Diego Padres in the NLDS and the New York Mets in the NLCS. For the Yankees, this is their first trip to the World Series since 2009. New York punched their ticket, taking down the Cleveland Guardians. This past weekend, we saw cooler temperatures.
I don't know about you, but I'm so ready for sweater weather. But as Elizabeth tells us, it might be too warm for that. Elizabeth Klein joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with our 8-day forecast.
Yeah, those temperatures tonight are looking really good. By 8 p.m. tonight, we'll be down to 78 degrees. And overall, we're looking at pretty clear skies until about 10 p.m. when we get just a little bit of cloud coverage. So this would be a great night to enjoy those cooler temperatures and maybe take a walk outside with your family. As we look to the lows for tomorrow, Phoenix will have a low of 65 degrees. Down in Tombstone, we'll be at 54 degrees, 40 in Show Low, and 30 degrees as the low in Window Rock. Now, the high temperatures for tomorrow are going to be a little bit higher than average for this time of year. Phoenix's high will be at 95 degrees. Tombstone will be at 88. We'll see 73 in Show Low and 68 degrees as the high in Window Rock. Now, these temperatures are going to be sitting at a little bit higher than average for this time of year as we have this high pressure building across the state. Now, over the next couple of days, we will still see those high temperatures because this high is over the state. But as we look into Thursday of this week, we'll see a high of 95 with a low of 64. Then by Sunday, we'll have a high of 93 degrees with a low of 67. Then just about the time we're getting ready to trick or treat, by Tuesday of next week, that high will be down to 79 degrees with a low of 64. In the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Elizabeth Klein.
People in parts of New Mexico are cleaning up today after flash floods swept through the area.
The flooding came after several inches of rain fell in just hours across the state over the weekend. The New Mexico National Guard actually had to rescue hundreds of people stranded because of the flooding. And the National Weather Service says the city of Roswell broke a record set back in 1901, with nearly 6 inches of rain falling on Saturday alone. Many roads in the area remain closed. But the good news, no more rain is in the immediate forecast.
And a weather system brewing in the Atlantic Ocean has been downgraded from a hurricane to a tropical storm. Oscar is currently over Cuba, and forecasters say it could make a right turn, impacting the Bahamas with strong wind and rain by tomorrow.
I'm Anna McClaren. After the break, we'll have your news headlines for today. With just 15 days until the election, several candidates are making their rounds in battleground states, including Arizona. Details on their campaign stops when we return.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
the bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Anna McClure with your news headlines. With just 15 days to go until the general election, several candidates will visit our state in the coming days. Senator J.D. Vance is returning to Arizona tomorrow. He will campaign at a military gear manufacturer in Peoria before heading to Tucson. And President Joe Biden will visit Phoenix on Thursday and Friday of this week. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump was in North Carolina today surveying storm damage. Many of his Republican allies were concerned that damage from Hurricane Helene would affect voter turnout. Trump said he would not forget about those affected by the hurricane.
It's been a terrible ordeal, and this area was hit about as hard as anybody's ever seen. To all those homes, and your homes have been destroyed. Many of you are rebuilding, and many of you are going to just start all over again. And the communities were ravaged and destroyed. We're praying for you.
And Vice President Kamala Harris is campaigning with former Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming. Cheney is one of Trump's most vocal Republican critics. They will be heading to key battleground states of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. At her campaign stop, Harris discussed what her plan would be for the future.
To embark on a new generation of leadership. And needless to say, mine will not be a continuation of the Biden administration. I bring to it my own ideas, my own experiences.
Now, back here in the Valley, when it comes to using health services, certain communities may find difficulty accessing such services due to problems such as the language barrier. However, the Office for Civil Rights and various other health organizations continue to find ways to increase healthcare accessibility. Cronkite News reporter Ignacio Ventura tells us more about the importance of accessibility for the community.
You go to the doctor and you expect to receive the proper healthcare service. However, this is not always the case. Some might not be technologically savvy to access services online, or may not speak fluent English. However, there are federal requirements to help those in need out. At a roundtable discussion at the Chicanos por la Causa Maryville Community Center, several panelists came together to discuss concerns related to health accessibility. Conversation shifted to providing improved services for people with disabilities and understanding the cultural sensibilities of community members. The panelists gave their perspective on health service requirements and collaborations.
And that means when you go to a doctor, you cannot be denied an appointment because you don't speak English. That means that your healthcare provider must translate into the top 15 languages in the community.
It's important to collaborate with other organizations because every patient is different, so everybody has a different story.
Those who are feeling discriminated when using healthcare services can also visit the Office for Civil Rights website. In the newsroom, Ignacio Ventura, Cronkite News.
One of the last Navajo code talkers from World War II died on Saturday at 107 years old. John Kinsell Sr. was one of the 100 Navajos recruited by the Marines to serve as a code talker to deliver messages in the Navajo language. These code talkers delivered thousands of messages on Japanese troop movement and location, which were crucial to the war's outcome. After enlisting as a code talker, Kinsell served in the 9th Marine Regiment and the 3rd Marine Division during the Battle of Iwo Jima. In his honor, Navajo Nation President Boo Nygren ordered to have all flags in the Navajo Nation fly half-staff until Sunday, October 27th. From the White House today, President Biden says he is deeply concerned about the release of classified documents regarding Israel's reported plans to attack Iran. House Speaker Mike Johnson confirms the leak of these highly classified documents that surfaced Friday on Telegram. These documents contain U.S. intelligence on Israel's possible retaliatory attack on Iran. It is still unknown whether these documents were leaked or released through hacking. Experts say this leak could damage U.S. interests in the Middle East and make Israel reluctant to share intelligence in the future. That's it for tonight's news headlines. I'm Anna McClure. Now back to Wilder and Kayla.
Coming up next, some Hollywood stars will receive a prestigious award.
Being presented by President Joe Biden, it is one of the highest honors given to artists. Stay tuned to see who the recipients are of this year's award.
3, 2, 1. Cronkite News. Get real professional experience in areas such as reporting, broadcast editing, and behind-the-scenes production, such as technical director and audio.
Kill the mics.
Or go out in the field and cover important local stories.
Learn and master the English language.
In a fun, welcoming atmosphere. Cronkite News. The future starts now.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu.
2, 1.
Coming up on the cut.
Coming up on the cut.
Coming up on the cut.
How students can build their broadcast journalism portfolio with opportunities to learn more about on-air reporting and studio production.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at @thecut_network and on X @CutASU.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. The countdown to Halloween has now entered into single digits, but there are a lot more numbers when it comes to how much people are planning to spend this year.
The National Retail Federation estimates shoppers will spend a roughly $11.6 billion before Halloween. CNN's Emily Schmidt tells us more.
This is the time of year where fall is big, like more than 2,500 pounds of pumpkin big. Yet this year, it's also big to downsize.
We see consumers willing to invest in these events, but also looking for ways to be smart with their budget.
The National Retail Federation's annual survey predicts that shoppers may spend around $104 per person, down $4.62 from 2023's record high. So overall spending might be lower, though still billions more than just a decade ago.
But it's certainly one that captures consumers' attention and focus and generates a lot of excitement around this time of year.
Retailers say nearly 72% of Americans plan to celebrate Halloween, spending the most on candy. An estimated 67% hand that out. Decorations, a fast-growing category, and costumes.
$5. And on Amazon, the same ones that I was looking at are $13.
The National Retail Federation says 12% of shoppers, especially younger consumers, look for costumes at thrift or secondhand stores. Of course, even before the spookiest Halloween screams fade, winter holidays begin. The NRF predicts retail sales growing around 2.5% to 3.5%.
That could put total retail sales for the last 2 months of this year at a record $989 billion.
That's 85 times the amount predicted for Halloween, suggesting the year's retail treats are still ahead. For Consumer Watch, I'm Emily Schmidt.
With spending on this year's Halloween, I hope that also means more candy in our trick-or-treat bags.
The Girl Scouts have approved an increase to membership fees by 160%. The National Girl Scout Council voted to increase prices from $25 per scout to $45 in 2026, then to $65 in 2027. Memberships are the largest source of revenue for the organization and brought in roughly $38 million in 2023. President Joe Biden will soon be presenting the National Medal of Arts. The National Medal of Arts is the highest award given to artists and those who have worked to advance in art in America. 20 individuals will be honored this year. Some of the honorees include Phoenix's own filmmaker, Steven Spielberg, as well as singers Missy Elliott and Queen Latifah. Anthony Bourdain and Selena Quintanilla will be receiving awards posthumously. That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Wilder Adams.
And I'm Kayla Marina. Thank you for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.